You're listening to the Shipyard Cat Podcast, the unofficial SAFC podcast for fans everywhere. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the pod. In the hot seat tonight is myself, Kev, sounding hopefully a little bit more human. And I am joined by none other than Adam and Robin. And see, Robin, you're there in your proudest Wearside t-shirt. Obviously, you've had a delivery from the club shop again. How are we, lads?
Yeah. Well, obviously, for the context of the views, it's the Wearside tifo from the time of Derby, where the cat's mauling the magpie. Yeah, I'm all good. Look, I've taken the advantage of not having a Saturday game at home, so I'm down on me hollybobs, so to speak, for a long weekend down in North Devon.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And Adam, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, man, not too bad. I don't have the joys of a holly bobs like Robin does this weekend. So I'll just be probably watching just soccer special, watching them 3 o'clock results come in.
Yeah, it is a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Having that.
Can I just put some context on this, by the way? Obviously, the amount of mileage I do for the club is well documented. I'm actually visiting family and looking after my niece for the weekend, so her mum can do business stuff.
As a working holiday.
Yeah, working holiday, but yeah, I'm obviously for anyone, and this is a complete and utter plug. Anyone that wants to have a very, very nice holiday in North Devon, come to Ruder Holiday Park in Croyd Bay because it is beautiful.
Why not?
Sponsorship incoming.
I was going to say, that'll be one of our sponsors in the future. But no, look, lads, obviously, yeah, it's a strange weekend, isn't it? We are the Monday night game. So by the time we kick off, the transfer window will have shut and we will know the results around us. So kind of it's in our hands. Obviously, we play Burnley, a side that also came up. Word it how you like. Obviously, yes, they went up on 100 points, yada, yada, yada. But they've not the easiest season. Obviously, they're finding themselves in the bottom three at the minute. Let's not kid ourselves. They are a tough side to beat. Scott Parker, despite our hatred for him, can manage a squad, albeit he's not managing too great at the moment. But, at their place, they did beat us 3-0.
Yeah.
What do we make of this fixture on Monday night? In terms of both teams have had a chance to settle in, so to speak, but are they going to come here and try and burst our bubble of the home form?
Yes. I think that's what they're going to try and set out to do. I think that's any team given at the minute. They just want to get rid of that bubble of us being undefeated. Burnley's one of those tricky customers that can punish you when you least expect it. If you look at a couple of their results already, like against Liverpool, they got a draw out of that. I can't remember who else recent. There was another top six squad that got a draw out of as well. But so they know how to dig deep and try and drag a result along. I just hope it's one of those where they're not up for the game, so to speak, and we can go out and punish them on it.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Adam, on that. Obviously, we got a result at Anfield as well.
Mm-hmm.
When Liverpool were in far better form than what they were when Burnley faced them. Turf more early in the season. That was, I think, at the time, our worst performance of the season.
Yeah.
I would like to believe now that last weekend away at West Ham was even worse. Look, they're a tough team. They finished 24 points above us, as it was well documented. And we were the cannon fodder of the Premier League. But Uh, I feel that we made some really good signings in the summer. And I think the way that Regis set up there wasn't really conducive to our football, hence why we were ripped apart. I think a game at the Stadium Light's going to be different.
I think that's the way of looking at it, isn't it? The draw you were referring to, Adam, was they drew 2-2 against Tottenham,
Absolutely. Yeah,
1-1
thank you.
with Burnley, and they also drew 2-2 against Man United. So yeah, they are getting some results in places in terms of points. A draw is better than a defeat. There's no
Yeah.
denying that. But they have also had an absolutely stinking run from November where they lost, I think it was 6 or 7 on the
Yeah.
bounce. It was Arsenal, West Ham, Chelsea, Brentford, Palace, the Scum, Fulham, and then they drew against Bournemouth. So, of course, for Scott Parker, it was probably, I don't know, the draw against Bournemouth for me was probably his reprieve, might be the right
Mhm.
word. Because you got to think, the Premier League is no mugs game. Managers do not get long to turn things around. You start making mistakes, you start costing points, and very quickly you find yourself out of a job. But for some reason, Scott Parker seems to have this bond
Aura.
with Burnley that he
Yeah.
seems to survive. But go on,
Well,
Robert. I can see you waving
if
at me.
I
I mean,
if
you're
I
either saying
just
goodnight or
no,
you want
no,
to
I
say
just want
something.
to jump. I just want to jump in there before Adam can't even pronounce Scott Parker. Um,
Parker Scott, what?
I just feel that their upturn in form and the games they played coincided with a lot of injuries to the teams they were playing.
Mhm.
And I don't actually think that they're probably. It's a hard one because, look, they're right down the bottom, but I don't think their points tally is really conducive to how they've played. I think
Yeah.
they've had a lot of lucky results. I mean, look, they beat us fair and square. I'm
Mhm.
not going to deny that. We were awful that day. But when you look at the rest of their games and the results they've had, they're not playing good football. They've been found out. And I did say this, I think, in the season preview when we were talking about it, that Scott Parker is a very, very good championship manager. He knows how to get the best out of teams to get them promoted. But as soon as he goes to the Premier League, he's found out.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that Regis sets up with round pegs in round holes, unlike West Ham. And also feel if things aren't working out, then change them early. Let's not wait. Let's not get the game go beyond us. You know, let him be proactive in what he's doing, and rather than have the fear of, well, it's this player. I don't want to break his confidence and stuff. We all said, within 10 minutes of that game against West Ham, it was set up entirely wrong. And he gave Hume the armband. And I did say in the review of the West Ham, I don't want to berate Hume in that, and I would stop picking on that. But he was not the person that played midfield.
Mhm.
So if you want to include Hume in there, because he is what I say, natural leader, play him that side in a 5
Yeah.
or a 3-2. Play him as a wing back. Go Mukiela, Ballard, Alderete. Hume as the right wing back. And going on the West Ham game, I'm going to say give Sirkin the start. Look,
Mhm.
we all love Ronaldo,
Yeah.
but he was way off it last weekend.
Mhm.
So let's give Sirkin that run. Let's get him in there. Let's see what he can do at the start. I think that 3-5 formation, where we can push forward as when we're out of possession, we're pushing forward. When we lose possession, we drop into a back five. And I think that suits Hume's game far better. So it helps him with his confidence.
Yeah.
Obviously, Xhaka's not back this week. We've seen that Rashid is saying possibly another 3 weeks. I'm a bit gutted with that because obviously, after this weekend we're away at Arsenal, and I think that would have probably meant so much to him. And I think against a team like Arsenal, we need him. FA Cup against Oxford, not being funny, but we should have more than enough to deal with them.
Yeah.
I think realistically, he's going to be back for the Fulham game, isn't he? That's the sort of target date.
Yeah. I think for me, it's going to just be effectively what I've seen more for Rajis at home more than away. At home, if something, to me, it's always something at home is going slightly awry. The first thing he wants to do, right, I'll change it. I think at home, that's what he does. He does quite quickly try and change it around sometimes at home. Whereas away from home, he's like, I'll experiment a little bit and I'll push a boundary, see what can be achieved. Because he's got that mentality in the lads, hasn't he? Where you can go a goal, you can, as we've said before, you can go a goal, you can go 2 goals down. There's a chance. Still fight, still push on. But as Robin touched on there, West Ham was just an appalling performance, to be fair. That just needs to be put on the back burner now, kick on Monday and just go, right. Basically, do what West Ham did to you and just put as many goals as you can past this to help the goal difference.
No, exactly. And I think that's what it is for me. I think when you look at the whole sort of away mentality versus home mentality, if we were able to turn our away form around, we'd
Yes.
be, well, we'd just be sitting in a crazy position in the table, let's be brutally honest. But I think that's what you've got to also think of. The West Ham game was just one of those performances where they, as I said in the review, they needed it more than we did. We are in that almost like uncomfortable but comfortable position of mid-table.
Yeah.
We're on 33 points. The target's 40. Obviously, for fans now, we want more than that. But 40 is the number. A couple of wins and you're there. Realistically, by the end of February, we should be on the beach, as they say.
Yeah. I was going to say,
But
if you look at the points at the minute as well, we're what? Still 3-4 points out of two away from fifth?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if we beat West Ham on Saturday, we would have been level on points with Liverpool. Obviously, our goal difference isn't as good,
Yeah.
and obviously, you guys and our listeners understand what I've said previously about goal difference, and I don't feel we score enough goals. Yeah, we're tight at the back, but we need to score goals because when we get beaten, we tend to get beaten by like 3 goals, and the goal difference goes downhill drastically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if we beat West Ham, we were level on points with Liverpool.
Yep.
And it's just that bizarre thing, and I know I'm probably going off on a bit of a random one, but
Right.
yeah, for once.
you said it.
Because here for once he's going on a tangent.
If though, we'd have got a couple of away wins or not lost by the goals we did, we'd be like knocking on the door of the Champions League. We're 3 points behind Liverpool. And all the pundits are going, yeah, they're still in with the Champions League football. And
Like
yet, we're looking over our shoulders in a way, I don't think the club is. I don't think the players are. But certain fans looking over our shoulders going, oh, well, if we lose a couple more, we're right in the relegation battle. You know, we're 3 points away from Champions League football, technically. You know, so let's try and be positive and go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing, isn't it? I mean, you would think Regis has got that in his mind that a couple of good results and the results around you go your way. Yeah, you jump back straight back into where we probably belong. And to be honest, that might be something that the lads use to their advantage on Monday because the games around us will have all been played. They will know exactly what 3 points will do.
Mm-hmm.
I see where fans are coming from with the looking over your shoulder because it is a very quick drop if the teams below you start getting the results. We've seen how quickly teams get pulled into relegation scraps. I would just hope that we've got enough about us to stay well out of that conversation. You look at the league table at the moment, West Ham are sitting on 20 points, Forest are on 25, so there's already a 5 point gap to get there. And as things stand at the minute, we're 13 points above West Ham. So you've got 4 wins and a draw for them just to catch your tail. And that's assuming
that quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's got to be a drastic change. But
if I can just jump in there, right? West Ham winning 5 more games than us till the end of the season.
Yeah, that's the point. There's 15 games left to play, I believe. Yeah, there is, isn't there? So, 23 plus 15, 38. There we go. Look, it's Friday night, lads. You're lucky we're all still functioning. It's been a busy week, and January's had 47 days in it. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Robin.
That was only the first half of the month.
No, mate, doesn't it just? But do you know what I mean? Yeah, we've got 15 games left, and fans are looking at it going, well, if we lose all 15, like, stop thinking like that. Do you know what I mean? There are going to be some stinking results. I agree with what Robin said a minute ago. We have got to stop the 3-0 losses, the 3-1s, because they do hurt your goal difference. Look, don't get me wrong, Robbie scoring at West Ham helped a little bit because it means it's only a -2, not a -3, etc., etc. But let's move back on to just briefly talking about Burnley. They're not the most exciting team to talk about.
Oh, yeah, that's why we're here, isn't it?
Obviously, yeah, they've got the trip up on Monday. It's a 8 o'clock kickoff on this one, or is it 8:15? I can never remember
it's
what they're doing with
8:15,
these
isn't
days.
it? I'm not sure.
8 o'clock for this one. Liverpool's 8:15.
Thank you.
Wow, Adam with some facts.
That's only because I did it before the pod.
I was going to say, is that because you've got to organise a bus to get to it? But no, can we see anything changing? Obviously, I know you've mentioned there briefly about the back line. We know Xhaka's out. Do you start Robbie still? Do we think he gets a little bit of a rest? I mean, I would personally, I'd start him. He's shown incredible form, but you've got to be so careful, haven't you, that you don't risk breaking another player. The teams are getting tired. Arteta said in his press conference today, "Oh, we've played 30." I know we haven't. He's going on about the fact they've played 36 games and it's too difficult. That's because they're obviously in every competition going. But I'm finding it frustrating how physical teams are getting to be against us. We've mentioned it in the last couple of pods where Robbie is getting manhandled and it's being allowed. It reminds me a little bit of the West Ham lad, big fella, Antonio.
Yeah.
He used to get it a lot, didn't he? Where he'd get muscled about and shoved about. Drama Traore was another one. Yeah. Because they were big physical lads, when they gave it some, they conceded fouls. But when they were giving it back, the referees went, well, you can cope.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's
Mikel
my worry
Antonio,
for Robbie.
that's who it was for you, and Kev. Mikel Antonio. Again, absolute beast of a specimen, really strong.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very, very similar to Brian Brobby.
Yeah.
Obviously, Adama Traore, that's just gone from, is it Fulham to West Ham?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a Nuno player. Not that we, you know, go on to that sort of thing and, go on the tangent. But obviously, an extremely strong physical player. Slightly different play because obviously Antonio and probably played down the middle, whereas Traore was
Winger.
more pace on the wing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I don't think Robbie gets a fair crack of it, so to speak. I mean, we saw in the West Ham game. I saw him getting manhandled so many times, and the refs just like get on with it, get on with it. And yeah, as soon as he breathes on the defender, defender falls to the floor, and there's a free kick.
Yeah. That's the thing for me going into this game. I do want Bobby to start. However, I'm thinking of the fact being of how physical Burnley will want to be. Because if you look at the defensive they've got obviously still Kyle Walker there, who, yes, he's getting on a bit, but he's still a brute to come across and probably try and wipe some legs out. So for me, I would rather want to utilize the pace of, say, likes of a Wilson. Say, go out there, punish them, see what you can do, and prove to us why we need to put you more attacking than Robbie, if that makes sense.
Let's jump in there, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've got a really, really valid point there.
Yeah.
And it's not often we agree on stuff. But
makes a change.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to replace Robbie with Wilson. I'm going to replace Munda with Wilson.
Okay.
Wilson coming in off the left against Carl Walker, because he's right back. He has lost a little bit of his pace, not loads, but Wilson's rapid.
Yeah.
And Mundell, like I said previously, will not run at people for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That was his greatest strength for the last 2-3 years, is him running at people like Jack Clark did. Jack Clark used to run at people. Tommy Watson used to run at people. We sold both of them because within the club we thought that Munda was better and had a higher ceiling.
Just touching on Mundell before you continue then, do we think the reason why he's not taking on the people as much as he used to, hear me out, is that because of his injury?
Yeah, that was going to be my point. I was just
going
about
to
to
say,
say,
it's because if
he's
you
a
watch him,
different
he's
player
very
since his
tentative.
injury.
Yeah, he's very tentative. He'll try it. Someone will come to him and he's like, I'll go back. It's nothing against him, because I think
since he's come back from injury, he has definitely withdrawn in himself a little bit. I think it's the same for Sirkin. I think since his wrist injury, both of them are a little bit tentative in doing what they did before. But I agree with Robin. I think Wilson on the wing would be a great shout.
Yeah.
I also think you've got to consider Mayenda. The lad is itching to play. He is so desperate to play, and when he does get on, he gives everything. I think the three of them up front would probably frighten a lot of teams, but it's almost like we're too tactically scared to do it
or take the risk.
Right, I get what you're saying, Kevin. I'm fully on board with that, I must say. But to play my end of there, that means we're going to get away from the inverted wingers.
Yeah.
We're getting the threat, the cutting inside, unleashing a shot threat has gone. So then what we're doing is, if we put Myender on the left, we're looking at running down the line. And Regis said it in his presser about Hume as well, going down the line and bringing other players in. But unless you're going to put the ball in the box, crossing it, which we saw, against West Ham, albeit too late, that we've got someone that's prepared to get in there and head the ball. Unless Mind is doing that, and this is the problem. will still, even though his strength is on his left and he will go past people on his left, he still wants to cut inside because he's number 9, number 10. He's not a number 11 or number 8, so to speak. Because let's face it, everyone talks about FIFA now. He's not a fashion striker or an inside forward, as they used to be called. You know, they like to play down the middle. They don't want to be too wide. They want to have the goal within their sight so they can do something and unleash a shot. And that's the difference. I feel that doesn't matter where you put my ender unless he is the target man. And with all due respect to him, he's a young lad and he's good and he's strong, but he's not Brian Brobby in the way he can hold up the ball and link other players in.
It's something he hopefully can learn and adapt by working in partnerships with the likes of Brobby and stuff like that. That can only improve his game better and make him as a better player going forward in his career, really, couldn't it? So
Exactly. I think the only other thing I didn't think of when I said it about the three of them playing at the same time is also when you then want to make a change, you've got no one to bring on. You're not exactly going to turn around and say, "Oh well, right, you three lads have done really well. Let's put." Oh wait, yeah, we haven't got a striker.
hey,
So,
Mr. Universal can play there.
I was going to say if we just grab one of the unders to jump in on the first team and do it, but look,
No, get Luke.
well, yeah, well, I was going to say Mr. Sunderland will play anyway. I think, like you say, it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, Monday night under the lights. Hopefully, we can continue the home form. So, I want to get your predictions, lads. I'm going to start with Adam for once.
For me, 2-0. Close. No, 2-0 for me. I think we're going to just be a comfortable 2-0. I think we might get a first half goal. They'll put a bit of pressure on us, but I think we've got enough about us to hold them back. And then we'll just get another goal in the second half just to see it out. And I think that'll probably kill off Burnley, to be fair. Their confidence will just be shot, hopefully.
Good shout. Go on then, Robin, throw it at me.
I'm actually going to predict a very, very disappointing 1-1. I actually feel that they're going to score and then just sit back because their back's going to be up. We've got a target on our backs now about being the only undefeated home team. And I just feel that they will... Look, we're going to dominate possession. I feel they're going to score from a corner within the first 20 minutes and sit back and time waste the entire time. And then we will score around about the 85th minute mark. And then after that, look, it's going to be all us all game.
Yeah.
Honestly, from then, they're just going to chuck everyone behind the ball, time waste, gamesmanship, whatever. There'll be a dodgy decision that goes against us, that VR, it should be a penalty, etc., and we should have won it, you know, or disallowed goal for an absolute ridiculous reason. I just feel it's got that written all over it. It's going to be full of controversy, and we will look. We're going to come away with a draw and to keep the unbeaten run intact. But there's just something about it. I don't know. I have this feeling that it's going to be tainted.
It's going to be a championship performance from Burnley, isn't it? It's going to be the kind of games that they did last season where if they could bring the bus into the stadium and park in front of the goal, they would. I just hope that we've got enough about us as a squad to push through that. My predictions are 2-1. I agree with Robin. I think they're going to score. I think they are then going to sit back and they're going to just try and swallow every moment of the game.
Mm.
And then I just think that in the second half, we're just going to push through. I think we are going to get the second goal and obviously then take the 3 points. But yeah, I agree with Robin. I think it is going to be just a scruffy game. I can't see this being clean football. I've said it before, and I'll probably get pelters for it. We don't play well against anti-football sides.
Yeah,
And
true.
I put Burnley in the same bracket as I do the likes of Leeds. They just don't enjoy playing football in
Yeah,
clean manner. But
they just want to play bully football,
no,
effectively, what you're
exactly,
saying.
exactly that, mate. I mean, go on, Robin.
Well, this is my thing that I said about Scott Parker. He's a very, very good championship manager, but when it comes to the Premier League, when you're in with the elite, you've got no comeback, you've got no response because you can't deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, just want to quickly go back a little bit to the review of West Ham, etc. Obviously, just to give a heads up. Tom, obviously, a young lad doing his, just did his sports journalism degree at Sunderland Uni. Obviously, he has other commitments tonight, or he would have joined us. And look, give the lad a follow. He's trying to build a career. Us three lads are doing it for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But he's a young lad and he loves the club like we all do. So if we can listen out, and obviously all our listeners that do it, they see his tag, share it to the younger generation and stuff, so that obviously it spreads our network as such as well, so that we're opening opportunities for people to come in. We're all here for the community. We're all here for the club. And yeah, going forward, if you've got a young member of your family that's looking into sports journalism and stuff, who wants a bit of experience to put on their CV, then give us a shout. Sunderland is a massive, massive family.
Mhm.
And I think that's the difference between us and a lot of other clubs. We look after our own.
We do indeed.
So yeah, so there's my tangent for this evening. Yeah, so obviously to the people that are listening, we tagged Tom in the last pod. He can't make it tonight because of other work commitments and stuff. But yeah, look, give him a follow, give him a like, raise his profile, and like I say, we're all for going forward with promoting young local talent.
I put it better myself, mate, to be fair. And look, yeah, like Robin's just said, give him a follow, give him a shout out. We'll have him on a few more pods. Likewise, any other journalists, any other pods that listen, if you want to join in and give us your thoughts on our ramblings and our rants and what you think your team's going to bring to us. We haven't done a away team or a home team kind of join us kind of pod in a long time, and it'd be a great thing to do. But lads, I just want to say thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. We've only got minutes left on this one, but hopefully it's 3 points on Monday night. Obviously, I'm, glad it's another home game. It feels like we've been away again for months.
Not to
But
me.
not
to
to
me.
obviously, yeah, not to the M25 ring down there, but yeah, to the
It,
rest
fe-
of
it,
us.
to be honest, it feels quite local for me. It just feels like I'm not getting home at like midnight again. It's like wonderful.
That's a novel idea. That'll be us on Monday though. Late kickoff. But no, look, to our listeners, thank you again. Obviously, just drop us a comment, drop us a message if there's anything you want us to bring up in the future. Like I say, we will discuss transfers in the review pod because obviously at the time of recording, the window is wide open, but there's nothing happening that we know of. There is, but Regis is keeping his lips sealed. And yeah,
Actually, I have got a bit of a scoop tonight on that.
oh god,
That no, I do believe that Patterson is virtually a done deal with Millwall as long as we can bring in another goalkeeper.
well, there you go,
Which
exclusive guys.
at the moment, the issue is we're struggling to find a goalkeeper that want to be a number two because they're not going to oust Robin Roofs.
There you go. If you're a goalkeeper and you want to be Sunderland's number 2, give us a shout. We'll see you on the next one.